Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we need to discuss when should you summon. We have a lot of events going on.
The finest blood for the most untainted soul.
Alright, so unfortunately at this point, I feel like we kind of have to do some conditionals or assumptions because we don't have the shard summoning calendar yet for Alistair. So this could greatly affect our decisions regarding summoning. But as I showed in my holiday event video, there is a reference point about shard summonings with legendaries we could sort of compare to with Celine. And that one kind of had like the beginning being like, what is it? Just a spiritual altar. And then the middle week, like Christmas week with all the fancy events. Those ones are going to be like, that had the Oracle trial version, which was more points. And then it ended the following week with another shard summoning event. So it could be the same layout. But the good thing is, I saw in my comments, someone actually said when it comes to the shard summoning events and the fusion calendars and your decisions whether or not you should pull for them, it's actually not that hard because they usually, at least in the past, had given, well, the past and present for the Forerunner server, they have given people some of the fragments early on. Like, you only need to pull a couple epics and you're good, kind of thing. Like, not requiring you to pull multiple legendaries in order to get the shard summons. So, we are, if it's the same number, we'll have 40 extra points. And if it's the same points for this, we'll have 20 points for the spiritual altars, 30 points for the arrival of heroes, and 20 points again for spiritual altar. So, I don't think we're going to have to go all in and pull crazy for Alistair. I think you can get away with doing a little bit of summons each week or skipping completely one of the events, which maybe that's New Year's. I don't know. But they threw a spanner in the works, didn't they, guys? They threw a spanner in the works. We have a 1+1. So in my video talking about the summoning events, I was actually pretty excited for the weekend of Christmas, even though Gwendolyn's not the greatest healer in the world overall. Compared to the others, and even though the banner's not perfect, it at least has Cetrum, which is amazing for players that don't have a Cetrum yet. But you know what? This is even better, right? This is even better. This week they had it a 1+1 event. I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, they're smart. They know how to drain our resources. But unlike other games, which we can definitely compare to, this game lets us know ahead of time. So we knew as soon as, like yesterday, as soon as it showed on the calendar, Saturday, we knew that Saturday starts a 1+1. And that could affect your decisions about saving for the holiday Christmas event stuff, right? That's the reality. So we have, so in 2 weeks, or well, not this weekend, but the following weekend, almost 2 weeks, not quite, we have prayers summons, Cetrum, Boreas, and Aurum. Now, Boreas seems awesome, especially for, I think, Gear Raid 1, but honestly, Aurum doesn't sound that exciting. When you look at him, he's expensive. I'll actually do a separate video on this, but closer to when this event is popping. But Cetrum, guys, I feel like anyone who does not have a Cetrum for their guild boss, unless you've been unlucky the whole time you've been playing a really long time, and you've already managed away with different heroes to get your 50k blood drops or whatever, and you're doing Nightmare 4, perfect. I feel like Cetrum is just such a key. Being able to take out that shield and be the main guy or the only guy that does that, he's just so good at it. And doing Nightmare 4 without a Cetrum is not fun for most team comps and most players. He'll be huge for any level of progression, early game or end game. So I think it's really hard to choose what to do because they're also throwing in a limited time hero on a special banner. Now, is it a guaranteed summons for 250? I would assume, because that's so far the limited heroes. Captain Rev and Falsia have been the same thing. Is Gwendolyn worth 250 summons? I don't think so. I think you'd rather get a Setram or maybe even Boreas if you don't have one. But it's kind of hard to tell at this point. I will be doing more testing with Boreas and using him in content over the next week. I'll probably wait till next week to actually fully do that and post a video because, again, his event isn't even out yet. But at the end of the day, this is still my favorite thing. You can't go wrong. So this is Spirit Summons, which is your diamonds and your rares. 1+1 is twice as fun. 1+1 is, even if you have terrible luck you can have terrible luck during a 2x event and go all the way to pity, hit 200, have to hit over 200 summons to get your legendary. There's no guaranteed you're getting 2 times the rates, but this is a guarantee you're getting 2 times the rates, 2 times the heroes. So I will always advocate for a 1+1 as priority. I think it'd be very rare to suggest otherwise. The only exception might be if the shard summoning event hadn't started yet, and it was not till next week, and you're like, oh, you have to save something for the event. This is a chance to get a free legendary hero that's actually really good and really interesting. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I feel like it's still gotta be prioritizing this. So I think what my personal strategy is going to be, it's gonna change because, well, actually, I was gonna pull my 2 times originally here for the sake. Oh, sorry, my 2 times. I was gonna pull I was gonna pull legendary crystals here and hope I can get me enough points I need for a spiritual altar just to make sure I get what I need and maybe even get some extra rewards along the way. And then I was gonna save everything else for next week with the guaranteed and probably get the guaranteed hero, even though she's not the best healer in the game. She's not bad. She's just not like the top, you know? It's kind of like she's okay, but she's not the best. She's more solid, I think, for, I don't know, I guess Gear Raid 2 she'll be really great for, but if you've already progressed through Gear Raid 2, you might not need her. So it just throws everything off. So personally, my advice for, okay, let's just start out with the very beginner advice. The first week of gameplay kind of people, brand new players, just starting your account, or maybe you've been playing for a few weeks, a month, but you're a very slow-paced player, and you don't have many heroes yet, you should be summoning every week anyway. So I would still advocate that you try to pull for your surprise invocation here. Now, if you already have a Setram or 2, honestly, the Awakening 1 for Setram is amazing. If you get him, you kind of want to get 2 copies. Be very happy if you do. If you already have 2 copies of Setram and you have a bunch of divine summons, and so you don't really care about the other heroes, maybe Boreas isn't that exciting for you, or you definitely don't need Aurum in your life because he's expensive to place and all this other stuff. Maybe you actually just pull on the normal 2 times. Maybe there's certain heroes you're really wanting to get that are part of the pool, like Arrogance or Vierna, Silas. Like maybe there's some other cool heroes that you haven't got yet. It might be smart to pull this week for your divine summons. Anybody, for that matter, not just early players, anybody. Because at least you can try to get your fragments from the spiritual altar event, and maybe that means you have less you need to do during Christmas weekend. But yeah, I think early players, you just gotta pull every weekend for the first week or first couple weeks. You should just pull what's happening because you just need people to build. Once you get enough people to work on and build and feel like you have people worth investing resources in, that's when you stop summoning every weekend and make your decisions a little bit more wisely. But you just need heroes. And I think it's smart not to pull during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, unless there's an event that's finishing up from a Monday, which there sometimes is, like this will be. But otherwise, just wait for every Friday, after your first day or 2 at least, to take advantage of the resources. So I think this week, who should pull this week? Everyone should try to get a 1+1 is still my answer. Unless you are 100% bent on getting Gwendolyn if she's a 250 summons and you've saved for it and that's all you got and you're just like, I'm getting the guarantee. The good thing is if it is a guarantee with 250, you're gonna hit a pity along the way. So technically, you can look at it this way, guys. This is another conversation we need to have. The guaranteed events guarantee you a hero, Gwendolyn, at 250, right? If that's what it is. Let's just assume. Let's say if that's what it is. But 250 is more than your pity. 220 is a 100% guarantee to get a legendary. So if you pull 200 plus and you get one legendary from that, plus you get the Gwendolyn, it's almost like you did a 1+1. So you just have to decide if Gwendolyn is kind of a priority for you and knowing and making sure you have the resources to get it. Because if you decide that Gwendolyn is a priority because you're a champion collector and you want to have all of the exclusive heroes, well, oops, let me go back here. Where was it? Game news. Okay. So if you want to have every exclusive hero and you do like Gwendolyn and she seems of interest to you, I mean, it is a 1+1 in a different way because you're going to need potentially the same amount of summons to get her. The only difference is if you summon on the banner like they've had, it's always a 10 times rate as well. So if you pulled Gwendolyn early and the event was over, the guaranteed's over, then there's no other guarantee for any more legendaries. So that's another thing to think about too. It's like you almost want to hope that you pull a couple legendaries before hitting the 250 so that she's just a bonus on top of what you already pull. But if not, at the very least within 250 summons, you 100% know you're getting 2 legendary heroes, which is like the 1+1 event. You 100% know you're getting 2 legendaries within 220 summons. So it's not that much worse. You just have to analyze if you really want Gwendolyn. And we have to kind of wait and see how the Alistair banner is going to be. Or the Shard Summon event is going to be for the fragments to get him. If he seems really hard to get and there isn't at least 40 or more extras to be had, it might mean we have to pull more than we expect. But if you pull this weekend on the 1+1, you should be pretty good. Or if you decide you don't want Cetrum, if you decide you don't want Cetrum, Aurum, or Boreas, and there's other heroes you really want more, and you want to have a better chance at getting those heroes, then pulling this week on a normal 2 times is better than pulling in a 10 times for heroes you don't want. So it could be that you just pull your divine summons this week and hope you get a hero that you're happy with. Here. And maybe you do this. Maybe you don't care about Gwendolyn and you don't care about that banner. So you just pull this week and then you save some. You get what you want. You get to the event stuff you need. And then maybe you save for the following part of the fusion, which will be the end of, like around New Year's Day, before New Year's, will be more summons needed to pull possibly. So maybe you do it that way. There's a lot of options, guys. So I know we kind of have to talk in circles with some of this stuff. And it's not like a clear answer. Like, should you pull? It depends on if you want Gwendolyn. And should you pull on a 1+1? Always. But if you look at the Gwendolyn event, it kind of is a 1+1 in a different way. So that's just another perspective to think about. So I'm going to have a hard time choosing. I know I want to get exclusive heroes on my account because why not? Plus, I'm a content creator, and that's what we do, right? But I don't have a lot. I mean, I thank God I have diamonds, I can make it happen. But I don't know that I want to waste 250 summons on Gwendolyn, but I could get some really cool stuff along the way on top of getting Gwendolyn. So it's such a gamble at the end of the day that I'm still at the point where I personally don't know what I'm going to do. I think I need to see the fusion calendar first, and if it seems easy, if it seems like the same as the Celine and we could skip a couple events, I don't know, I I might actually just pull. Oh god. I'm so torn. I might pull this weekend and just hope I get a 1+1 early and then risk losing the chance to easily get Gwendolyn. I might. I might. And then I'll probably, personally, I'll probably save my, oh boy, I think I'll save my Divine Summons if I can for Christmas, but unless it involves only popping a couple to hit the milestone for fragments, then I might pull just a few Divine Summons today, like, or Friday, plus a 1+1, and then do whatever I need to in the upcoming weeks. I hope that makes sense. Oh man, it's so hard because personally I have a lot. I have 16 legendary crystals because I was bad and I bought packs for ancient summons. Yeah, and then but luckily those packs, 2 of them included divine summons. So my regret is not there yet unless I get nothing from these. I'm at the point from my account where I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do. But I hope this discussion made you guys think at look at things a little bit differently. I hope this helps make there be more clarity for other of you, maybe not for me, but we do have to remember this is a 1+1, which is awesome. But there are new heroes being added with a 2 times and a 10 times at the same time. So if you want those heroes, you want to pull on those banners. Or if you want Gwendolyn, think of Gwendolyn's event as kind of a 2 times or a 1+1 event as well. So you're going to get that guaranteed hero of Gwendolyn on top of at least one other hero, possibly 2. So there are options. It just depends on your preferences for the heroes on next week's banners. At the end of the day, if you're interested, pull. If you're not, pull this week, take advantage of what's here, and then worry about 2 weeks from now for New Year's and getting whatever points we might need for shard summoning. That's, I guess, the way to wrap up the tips. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys gonna wait and pull? If Gwendolyn is 250 summons, are you gonna pull for her? I don't know if she's just... I don't think that's the option for everybody. But I understand some people just want to get every character no matter what, if they can. So maybe you pull because you're a collector. Maybe you pull because we are really short on healers and you think she could help you advance in Gear Raid too. So lots to consider. Thank you guys for watching though, and I'll see you in the next video.